Hey Alan, welcome to the GAC RMHC Golf Classic. Just want to give you an opportunity here to view your swing at regular speed. We'll let that play on through. We'll put you back in your dress position and we'll go ahead and take a look at a few things for you. So while we got you back here in your setup, let's first of all just take a look at your posture. Your spine is nice and straight and on a slight tilt. Legs come down into a nicely unlocked position. Arms hang down nice and naturally out in front of you, and the club works out to the golf ball. So you're achieving really good posture here in association with good balance. Let's go ahead and also take a look at your alignment from this perspective. We can see your feet aiming in this direction here. Carry that out to the fairway. Theoretically, club face is supposed to run parallel to your feet. And parallel lines on camera would have an appearance of converging. And in that scenario, we're basically set up to hit the golf ball right at the corner of that little body of the water. So we may see some form of a little compensation where we're trying to somehow get that ball over to the left a little bit more. And we'll go ahead and see what that is when we take a look at your swing. Let's go ahead and do a little split screen comparison here between you and Jordan Spieth. I've got some color-coded lines on the screen just to use as visual reference as it pertains to swing plane. We can see what Jordan, as he initiates his takeaway, creates good shoulder rotation, bringing the arms and hands back as well as the golf club. And we want to see the club coming back along the red line on plane. As we get the golf club back in around this zone here, we now need to incorporate some good wrist hinge into play, whereby we're going to transition the club head from below to above our hands. And at that point in time, we want to now move the golf club from red up towards the blue-yellow V zone. When we finally set the golf club at the top of the backswing, we want to have our left arm and the club situated either on the yellow line, in between the blue-yellow V zone, or on blue, as we can see with Jordan Spieth. We also want to create full shoulder rotation, and we want to do that about a very stable right leg, all of which is done and performed off of the posture that we achieved at address. Let's go ahead and watch you initiate your takeaway here. You draw your hands back very nicely. Good shoulder rotation. Club's coming back slightly inside of plane. No real issue at all. As we continue to turn here, we want to get some wrist hinge into place so the club can recover a little bit. Club's still inside and a little bit laid off. I think we get some wrist hinge in the next frame here, so a little bit more wrist hinge looks great. And let's go ahead and work that right to the top and see where you set things. When we finally get to the top of your backswing, we can see that you create great shoulder rotation. Pretty stable right side, although you are falling to the outstep of your right foot. You do want to keep the weight on the instep of that foot to store more energy, but nonetheless you're turning well, legs staying pretty stable. Your arms are in good position, left arm situated on the yellow line. You're still maintaining good triangular position relative to your core. But the club is out of position. It's considerably across the line. Just means that the club shaft right now isn't remaining sort of really within that blue-yellow V zone. It's pointed way out to the right. So a little bit across the line. As we go ahead and create our transition back into the ball, we simply want to move our weight from our right foot to our left, fire our knees and our hips laterally to the target, unwind the core, fire the hands, and we got to make sure we're bringing the golf club from wherever we set it within that blue-yellow V zone, and that we bring the golf club back down onto red, which is where the club originated. And that's exactly what we see here with Jordan Spieth. The golf club has returned back to being on plane. The other thing we want to observe at this stage of the golf swing is the relationship between the lead form and the golf club. I refer to this as the backwards check mark. Simply means the club head right now is coming into the ball, lagging above and behind his hands. And this is what's going to allow him to create a lot of power in his golf swing, let alone the ability to hit the ball straight due to the fact that, again, the club has returned back to plane, which is a main criteria in being able to hit straight golf shots. At this point in time, if we go ahead and take a look at your transition back into the ball, actually not done a backswing yet, so it carries on a little bit more. From here, you drive your weight from your right foot to your left, your knees are kicking in, your hips are kicking in, your hands are dropping. Looks really good. Club's got to return and at least get back to blue-yellow V zone first. So let's see how we get to very nice there, and pre-impact's going to look pretty solid. So let me go one more frame. No, so this is the frame I got to use. At this point in time, what we can take a look at between your lead forearm and your club, we can notice that you have your backwards check mark. So creating some power in your golf swing is not going to be an issue. But at this point in time, the club hasn't fully returned back to plane yet, and the club shaft is a little bit more steep than what we see with Jordan. So your club shaft's originally in this position at about 54 degrees, and his club shaft is at 32. So a slightly different angle. But we can see with your golf swing that what you're doing is you're really creating a good reroute. And what we're going to see here in the next frame is your club is going to fall even more behind your hands, which is going to be terrific. So let's go ahead and track your club head coming into the ball. It's right there. Let's go to the next frame, and it's good. There it goes. So it falls right back on the plane right there. It might actually fall a little bit underneath the plane in the next frame. No, it doesn't. It stays right on the plane. So if we just sort of connect the dots, we'll get a really good visual as to the descending plane. So it had hit the plane right about there, and then kept coming into the ball pretty much from an on-plane position all through here. Okay, so that is a really good descending plane. You should be able to hit a fairly straight golf shot in accordance to your alignment. Now, sorry, let me just go ahead and show you Jordan Spieth. So again, same thing, right? Club's coming into the ball directly from plane. I'd already mentioned that, you know, this is what's going to allow us to hit a straight golf shot in accordance to our alignment. Lastly, assuming that the club face squares up via having a good grip. So 3 things we need in order to hit a straight shot. We have to aim well. The feet have to run parallel left of our target line. We know with you, you're slightly closed because I had mentioned to you we were set up to sort of hit the corner of this body of water. I'd also mentioned that we're going to probably do something to try and get the ball somewhere a little bit further left than that. So again, back to Jordan. If we want to hit straight golf balls, we have to aim well. Feet parallel left to target line. The club has to return back to plane in order to hit the ball straight in accordance to that alignment. And then lastly, club face has to square up via having a good grip to make that all come together. So in your case, you've got good alignment. You're just a hair right. You're coming down on plane, so you should be able to hit a straight golf shot based on your alignment. Unfortunately, a straight golf shot in this particular case is right in the corner of the water. So I got a feeling that, again, the last thing in order to produce that straight golf shot is the club face has to square up. I think what we're going to see with you through impact here, I think we're going to see the club face shut down considerably, and that'll prevent the ball from going at your target, which is the corner of the water. So club face shuts down through impact here. Starts the ball a little bit more left of where you're aimed, and that's also going to produce a little bit of right to left spin. So what we can see here is we can see the ball definitely taking off right there. It's right at the tip of that line. So as we carry it on, that ball's heading in a really good direction, probably has a little right to left spin, and it's going to turn out to be a good golf shot. You're carrying yourself through to a really good finish as well. Certainly some really nice athletic characteristics with your golf swing. Looks great. Anyways, I hope you had a great day, and I hope you enjoyed getting an opportunity to see your swing on video. Take care.